I'm having so much fun with the Marvel Rivals PvE event that I decided I had to do a character breakdown guide for each of the characters and their variants. And Squirrel Girl is nuts.
Came and he saw and he conquered. I got a slay at the concert. You know the story, the tortoise in here. You want the glory, your nose in the air. I couldn't care less about your money, phone, and your pair of shoes and your side hose.
What's good, nieces and nephews? Big Unk, Chaos, and I'm here to give you all the Marvel Rivals, I guess, Blood Hunt. I don't want to call it zombies, but the Marvel Rivals Blood Hunt Squirrel Girl character guide. Now, this specifically is going to be for a variation of Squirrel Girl in the second form, not the one I'm showing you guys here. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of that one as well a little bit later, just because I think that each of them play differently, and you're not going to want to just utilize all blue or all gold this time, whereas you had before in the previous event. Now, I don't know what everyone else is calling this, but I'm going to call it Heat-Seeking Squirrel Girl, because essentially how the build works is you use these stacks of friends from the squirrels, and as they stack on, they deal additional continuous damage over time. Think of it like a little bit of a poison effect, and I gotta say, it's quite effective. You can lock on to enemies around corners, take huge advantage of that. Your cooldowns are going to be very crisp and clean, and I think that it's just a very fun explosive build that a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy. I also think that the fact that it's super unique just to the PvE experience brings a lot of different elements to it. I even had the idea that maybe we'd have some additional characters coming, since the previous Zombies mode did have a huge update in the middle of the season, as well as character changes. Some of those character choices led to things like Thor being enabled with his new ground dive. So I definitely could see some more character exclusive moves in this mode, as well as some exclusive characters. And with her, I think that utilizing her rocket is just so fun. The way I have it clicked on right now, you can, as you're seeing it on the screen, I'm able to infinitely spam it. And this isn't, just any casual lobby. And we're over there at Nightmare 75. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, the top records 160, Unk, you're dried, you're washed up. It's all good, nephew. I'm just showing you what I can do, and as you can see, people lie and numbers don't. So let's first start off by examining exactly how I have Squirrel Girl made up. Now, I want to point something out that a lot of people don't know, but you actually have two different profiles accessible for you in the game. So if you want to switch between two different loadouts, for example, if I have a pure nuts build, I can switch to that one. I'm not going to do it here. You can also use this Q thing to pop up so it doesn't show you anymore, but it's just a way of letting you know you've gone to your other build. Now, getting straight into it, I could pause and read every single one of these, but for the most part, I'm just going to show you the main abilities I got and the ones that I skipped. So starting out, I don't actually like Burst Acorn. I know this is going to be for a little bit of a later game build. So for a lot of you who are starting out, you're probably not going to instantaneously be able to spam a billion of the rockets. I actually have it configured on my controller, because although I'm a PC player, I like controller. I actually have it configured on there, so where I have it replaced with the Acorn button, and later on you won't need it. So look at this as the final build once you have 60 level points to allocate here. So obviously the ability cooldowns are going to be your most important things, because your main offensive way of dealing damage is going to be, where is it? Just over here. I want to make sure I'm finding it right. The Squirrel Missile. So what it does is it charges and locks onto all enemies near the crosshair, then fires, deals a bunch of damage. Really effective move, and it counts as an ability. So starting out, I got 1 point into damage bonus, 1 into health, 5 into damage output amplification, because this is going to contribute how much maximum damage you can do. I got 1 into armor, and something else a lot of you may not notice, if you look on the left hand side here, you'll see a little motion. You can actually create a varied move set. So for example, with her rocket upwards with the bounce of her tail, it's a free thing, doesn't require any trait points for those of you who are interested in it. I got 3 points in Jumbo Acorn and 3 points in Rodent Revelry. Now the Acorn's actually going to be good because Squirrel Blockade, imprisoning enemies and giving us 60 vulnerability is amazing. That's super good. That's 60, applying 60% extra damage, I believe. Another great move, the Squirrel Blockade, imprisoning them, keeping them stunned in effect. There's also a move later on that goes on really good to it, so how the Squirrel Friends, which are going to be caused and triggered by our Squirrel Blockade, actually apply slow, and their attack. And I don't know why it's not showing the full thing. 1 second. Sorry about that. They apply slow, and later on you get additional things that'll also continuously add things like more vulnerability. Some of the items you're going to see later on will have that as well too. So next up, we've got the offense is offense. Squirrel Blockade now can hit unstoppable enemies. So that means anyone who like flies, anyone who's yellow, it's not going to work against like the bosses for the most part. It'll hit them, but it won't stop them. So that's going to be a little bit annoying. Mammal Bomb, this has to be, I think, probably one of the best moves. It removes the timer on your mammal mode and instead reduces it on like basically a metered resource. So because of that, that's how you guys saw me jumping so much when I was doing it before. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the cooldown reduction to make my abilities come quicker, a little bit more health, critical rate. I'm not a critical build. You guys will see that in my stats later. Block mitigation, 1 into that. I got 1 into Mammal Bond. I forgot I took off my gear set that gave me an additional 27 Mammal Bond duration, so that's exactly why it's that as low as it is. But something that's really cool is some of the items you have are going to actually be able to stack on and add additional effects. Like the one I had gave me additional 20, I think like 34 seconds in Mammal Bond mode, so I'll have to remodify that one. Squirrel Missile, obviously maxing that out. Again, a lot of that's going to be coming from my gear. Just so you guys see exactly how this works, I'm going to take one away. Notice that initially it doesn't, it's not going to apply to it. It's 35%, but just by adding 1, I'm able to get that much into it. So in that case, you can put a little bit extra in other categories now. So I'm actually going to go back to where I had these in. Look at that. We found out a little something together. Next up, we're gonna get another 5 into output amplification, 1 into percentage of max health. If you're low on max health, you guys can do that, but honestly, your gear is probably gonna be able to fix that. During Mammal Bond, dispatches a mini squirrel to nearby enemies, applying squirrel friend stack, so that's gonna be even more status effects. It's kind of like, again, a poison build that I think a lot of you guys are gonna be able to appreciate. Next up, we got 1 to dodge, cycle of nature, 20,000 damage, reduces Mammal Bond's cooldown. That's gonna be good because we wanna stay in that mode as long as possible and spam our abilities. Every 50,000 damage, reduce the cooldown of Squirrel Blockade and Squirrel Missile by 0.3 seconds respectively. So we're going to be hitting a bunch of those. Precision rates up 5%, armor at 50, 1 into here. And this is, again, going to be a perfect example. I got 28 of this from my gear, whereas originally I'd only get 3. I don't need to waste any more resources putting more in there if my gear is already maxing me out. Next up, we got precision damage at 875%. You'll see why soon. 10 to health, 3 more here for the KO'd enemies. Give additional squirrel stacks on all enemies within an area. Very effective. Ultimate ability charge, good. Honestly, since again, another one of these is going to be coming from just a lot of that comes from my gear. I think I'm going to put a little bit more into. Yeah, I think I'll put a little bit more into my ult would probably be what I do. If not the ult, more damage output at the top. I probably have a little bit I could have maxed out there, but I think that overall, this is going to be a very fine build. And once more, just so in case anyone didn't see this, another opportunity, make your squirrels unmatched power, invincible. This is something you're going to get right before your last skill point. Do not pass up on that. Absolutely important. Just a quick overview of my gear now, so you guys can see exactly what I'm rocking with here. So I'm going to be using Great Lakes Avengers banner on this build. This is going to be the one that's super useful for the Squirrel Missile. And I'm realizing now how I lost that mammal mode because I prioritized the additional S tier scaling of the of the Squirrel Girl, of the Squirrel rank. So very useful. Very useful. And now we've got the armor. Again, I've got some good damage block reduction, decent health there, health up 56%. Druid's Whistle, amazing for boss fights, really good. Kind of struggle. This build kind of does a little bit better, in my opinion, than the other one with the primary, mainly because of the bosses. You just don't get enough damage, I feel, from that primary one. So this kind of, feeds off of that and makes it a lot better. Also, more Squirrel Missile damage scaling. And lastly, just an alchemy helmet. I got a lot of good gear here, but this is my total stats. Not going to bother reading through all this. But just so you guys know, there is a difference between the type of damage you use. So I've got about 9,000%, almost 10,000 in precision damage, 7,500 health, 500 armor, increase a little bit further, dodge rate, block rate, these are all my stats, and yeah, essentially this is the character I've been using and I've had a lot of success. My current record right now is 80, which I'm going to be attempting 85 here soon at some point, but I wanted to finish off the video by just giving you guys an idea of exactly the type of gameplay you're going to get to see. So the last couple minutes will just be a little fight with the boss. I had a lot of fun making this video. I really enjoy Squirrel Girl a lot. I'm gonna have to take some time to actually grind up all the other characters. But if you enjoy this type of content and you enjoy this PvE mode, we gotta do our best to support the content and let netties know that, hey, we will play this. Because personally, I have not had this much fun playing this game in a very long time. So I'm hoping all of you enjoy the rest of the video, and be sure to let me know in the comment section your favorite character and what type of guides you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tell your auntie I said hi.